Yo! What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of I don't know what this is called. If you are listening, please put a suggestion on what to call this segment. Been running every Monday night for the last 6 months, I think. 6 to 8 months. I have no idea what to call this. And I keep coming up with ideas, and I figured I might ask you guys. If you do, put in the comments below. Thank you. So tonight's talk, we're going to talk about the bro split. For those who don't know what a bro split is, when it comes in training, is you train one body part a week. So it could be one day is chest and tris, another day is back and bis, another day might be core and calves, then quads, hamstrings. But the body is quite it's segmented, right? And shoulders as well, obviously. It's quite segmented, but the gist of it is you're targeting one body part per week. Now, when it comes to understanding this and why people do it, this is what a lot of people follow because it's what was being done in the golden age of bodybuilding, and I guess people's information they may not have caught up to modern day understanding and the scientific literature to suggest that it's more of an ineffective way than to train the same muscle part multiple times per week. Now, I've watched a couple of experts in the field, and they have the same suggestion where you actually want to split your training up. You actually want to I guess we're splitting it, but split it into multiple times per week. You're targeting the same body part. Certain muscles can actually withstand the frequency of training on a regular basis, like 2 to 3, if not 4 times per week. Some muscle groups can only do twice a week. Areas that are more high in type 1 muscle fibers, so more like your rear delts, your calves, and your biceps, are gonna tolerate more frequency. But they actually do need more of a stimulus to actually grow over time. So targeting those muscle groups more frequently, 3 to 4 times, or even the day after, you might have smashed them, but you might do like maybe 3. So you might smash them for like 10 sets, but then you might do the next day for 3 sets, just get a little bit of a pump in the blood and a little bit of a stimulus into the area. It's also recommended you actually change the volume intensities throughout the week. So you might be training, the way I actually structure a lot of my clients' programs is go, if they train 4 days a week, and go an upper lower split. So that upper day, it might be more of a chest and shoulder emphasis, more of a pushing emphasis with a little bit of back work. But then the second upper body day is more back work. Emphasizing that with a little bit of chest, and same thing with legs, but legs I might actually change it to, might be more of a squatting emphasis, and it might be more of a deadlift emphasis. So one's a bit more quads and the other one's a bit more hamstrings and glutes. I'm not saying glutes aren't used in the squat. I'm saying in terms of the recruitment, you will get more in terms of an RDL, squeezing the glutes. With those type of movements, more of a hip hinge than a squatting motion. You load the hips a lot more safely in that position. So getting back to it, it's about hitting muscle groups multiple times a week will allow you to get more of a stimulus in strength, more of a stimulus in hypertrophy, but also aid recovery as well. The optimal window to actually train another muscle group is no more than 3 days and 72 hours per se. The reason why they suggest that is because once the muscle is broken down in the training session, muscle protein synthesis will actually start to occur. So there's acute and more chronic, or there's basically events within muscle protein synthesis process happens quite quickly in that regard. So you're going to get more from a localized level, then you get more of a systemic level as well over time. The way I would structure, if you're doing 3 times a week, is actually do whole body 3 times a week, but emphasize a different emphasis on each session. So it might be emphasis on squatting first, and another emphasis on deadlifts on another day, and then another emphasis on bench press or something like that. But you're still doing some variance of within each of those days. So you might squat for one day, then you might do moderate intensity and volume on bench press. You might do some RDLs or something like that. But then when you get to your bench day, you might go heavy bench, moderate squat, light deadlifts or something like that, where you have some sort of variation in between those sessions. It also depends on how many times a week. But really, you should be hitting the same muscle group 72 hours, no more than 72 hours, because you have this adaptation, so it kind of climbs, then you have like this maintenance, and if you go too long, you actually will get a decline. But because what you want to do is wave it and build. Using my finger going up. You want to build it up from one training session to another training session to another training session to another. So you get constant stimulus building upon from the previous session. You don't want to have to go up, then back down and start again. So adaptation happens quite quickly, a lot quicker than what people may think. I'm going to wrap it up there. Please comment below if you have any questions. I know some of you are a little bit maybe shy. Please put some suggestions on what to call this. Till next week. Peace.